Welcome to SaharaTV. My name is Sami Disu. We have a special guest for you today in our ongoing discussions in the lead up to the NG 2015 presidential elections. Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama. Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama is the Archbishop of Jos and Chairman of Plateau State Interreligious Committee on Peace. Welcome, Archbishop Kaigama.
Thank you.
Archbishop Kaigama, even though Jos is in the south and further away from the insurgency strongholds of Borno State, you're still experiencing attacks in Jos. Tell us how this has affected Christian life in your city.
Well, the repercussions of what is happening in Maiduguri and environs are quite felt here. You know, that anxiety and fear that an attack could happen anytime, it's always on the minds of people. There is no doubt that there has been isolated attacks here, even in Jos. And we are afraid that it might happen again. And that is why everyone is taking the necessary precautions. In churches and mosques, you see serious security, internal security mounted by adherents of the various religions. And people are more cautious. And by the grace of God, we hope to overcome. But I can tell you that there is anxiety, there is fear in the air, and nobody wants violence. Nobody wants to suffer violence unnecessarily, and not to talk of being killed. When you see loved ones being killed, it's something that people don't want to see. Christians are naturally apprehensive, just like the Muslims. Together, we feel bad that these attacks are happening, and we are hoping that our government and others can do something to bring this to an end.
As we're speaking today, we do know that the situation in Baga, in Borno State, is still uncertain. Government forces have not yet taken back control from Boko Haram forces, who are said to have killed up to 2,000 people in Borno State. Now, on January 12th, you were featured in a BBC report as stating that the world needed to show some of that kind of solidarity that was shown to the French nation after the terrorist attacks in Paris that left about 17 people dead. And I quote, "We need that spirit to be spread around, not just when it happens in Europe, but when it happens in Nigeria, in Niger, in Cameroon. We must mobilize our international resources and face or confront the people who bring such sadness to many families." Now, just today, the National Security Advisor, Dasuki, declared that Nigeria and the neighboring countries were in good shape to handle the Boko Haram issue. So my question to you is this. We have a situation where the government itself is saying that it is in control of the situation and it can resolve the situation. Why should we blame the international community for not doing more when the Nigerian government itself is saying it has a handle on the situation?
Well, we want to see results, concrete results. For a long time, the Nigerian government has been saying that they are on top of the situation. That is a mere saying. You can testify, as the news report, that people are dying, territories are being captured, and the latest Baga incident is clear evidence that not all is well. And when anybody says we can handle it, we are going to handle it, and yet people are being killed and thousands are being displaced, then we know that there is something that is fundamentally wrong. And I think we should be humble enough to accept that we have not been able to effectively coordinate a proper response to this insurgency. And therefore, we need all the help that we can, whether it is technical help, whether it is security help, whatever nature, it's important. And I'll be very surprised if Nigeria is saying through the National Security Advisor that we don't need any help. I think as a pastor, as a priest, a Catholic priest, I go around a lot and I feel the palpable fear and anxiety and apprehension of our people, and they need the help. If the government doesn't need the help, the Nigerians need the help. But government must do her own part. We believe that we have enough resources. We believe that we can coordinate a proper response to this in Nigeria, even if there is no outside help. But that we cannot, and for too long people are dying, means that there is need for some help elsewhere.
My question is still the same. What can the international community do when you have a situation when the Nigerian government is saying, we don't need any help? Nigeria is a sovereign state.
Yes, I'm surprised that that is being said. You said that was said today. I'm not sure, well, if that is the official position of government, but I tell you that I'm a grassroots person. I'm a priest. I go around a lot. My brother, the Bishop of Maiduguri, is right now on the hot seat in Maiduguri. He is suffering a lot with thousands and thousands of people. They are caged in there because they are not free to move, and it's all very dangerous. And we are aware that territorially, the insurgent group is expanding and taking over villages, towns, and local governments. And if the Nigerian government says that is all okay, they're able to contain it, let them show it. Let me see it. Let it be concrete. Let it be visible. This is all I'm saying. We want results. I don't want my people, I don't want fellow Nigerians to keep dying. Yesterday, I was attending to over 2,000 displaced people in Jos. We had to beg for food and clothing around and ask for people to donate during Christmas and the New Year. And with the proceeds, we were able to distribute food, clothing, and even cash to many displaced people from the Borno, Adamawa areas. We don't want to see that situation. If the government can arrest it, let it be done now.
I'm glad you're stating the situation as it is, because we're all aware that the situation in Nigeria, the security situation is pretty bad. You have over 1 million internally displaced persons and almost daily attacks and bombings, which have just seemed to be, which are deteriorating the social fabric of the nation. Do you think that the situation has gotten so bad that Nigerians themselves are now becoming somewhat desensitized to the level of violence? Because we're seeing, as recently in Baga, even if hundreds of people died and not 2,000, the whole country seems to be going on as usual. There hasn't been the kind of anger expressed by the people, whether it being in the streets protesting for the government to do more as they are required to by the Constitution. Do you think Nigerians are beginning to accept the situation?
I don't think they would accept this kind of cruelty and inhuman treatment of fellow Nigerians. Nobody would be happy with such terrible violence. Nigerians, people who love life, and life is sacred, and nobody should take life, no matter for what reason. And we look up to the government to do what they are supposed to do, together with the security agents. Remember that since 2009, these attacks, these killings have been going on. And it just gets to a point that people don't know what to do and even don't know how to react again. It's not because they have accepted the situation. The situation is pretty bad, and Nigerians want to see it resolved immediately. And we would continue to push until results are found.
Archbishop Ignatius, let me put this question to you. So the insurgency has been going on since 2009. Boko Haram ramped up their operations, and they've killed thousands of people. Late last year, the Nigerian government was saying that there was they had reached a ceasefire agreement with Boko Haram, but since then we've come to. I'm sorry. Let's repeat that. Let me repeat that whole question again. Let me pose this question to you, Archbishop Kaigama. If today Boko Haram decides that it wants to engage in a ceasefire with the government, but in return it required complete amnesty for all of the killings and bombings it has committed, would you support such a deal?
If such an agreement is reciprocal, why not? And if it is going to save lives and property and give our country its territorial integrity, why not? But the terms have to be clear. I said it has to be a two-way traffic. Namely, the Boko Haram, having seen that it is needless and unnecessary to kill and destroy, they want to stop and embrace fellow Nigerians as human beings. That would be highly appreciated. And if the government has to reciprocate this gesture by doing something that is also beneficial to the members of Boko Haram, I think it is in order. I let it be a mutual agreement that is going to produce enduring results.
Okay. Now, we know that Nigeria is a deeply religious society. We have the Christians, Muslims, and other faiths. And in many cases, I believe that these Christians, Muslims, and other faiths actually listen more to their religious leaders than to the politicians, because they are very religious. Given that, do you feel that Nigerian faith leaders are putting enough pressure on the government and coming out and speaking out against the violence that is being allowed to happen in Nigeria?
Yes, we talk a lot and we say a lot. I'm not sure whether it's been heard and acted upon. But I want to tell you that each time we meet, we don't just pray alone. We don't just read the Word of God alone. We are also concerned with social issues. We are concerned with the army of young people all over the place who are idle and unemployed, not properly educated and all that. We are concerned with the situation of security and so on. And we do talk about this. I can assure you that in the last 2 or 3 months, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria have met the president, Goodluck Jonathan, twice. And we didn't go to just wish him a happy Christmas or a birthday wish. We went to discuss serious national issues with him. For instance, the elections that are forthcoming, and then the issue of security, and the internally displaced people. These were serious issues we discussed with him. And I think we did arrive somewhere, because we saw he was able to act immediately by sending his director for emergency to Yola, one of the areas badly affected. And I think they brought some relief, and there was some interaction with the church authorities on ground. So this is the result of our discussion. So we have not kept quiet, because these people that suffer, these people that die are our people, and we love them, and we must do everything possible to see that they are happy and well settled in peace.
Mm-hmm. On our show last week, we had Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, who reiterated his position that both the leading candidates, President Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari of the APC, should not run for presidency, and they are not fit to become the next, either of them, to become the next ruler of Nigeria, given the issues Nigeria faces. What about you?
Elections are just around the corner, and all the constitutional requirements have been met, I believe. Primaries have been conducted, candidates have emerged. At this point, it is irrelevant for me to say they should not go on. And And what option have I? Is it that we suspend the democratic process, or what do we do? At this point, we are looking for a leader. And if any of the two will be able to provide good leadership, then we welcome him on board. And what we want is honest leadership, dealing with the situation of crisis, the insecurity, the terrible corruption that we witness in this country that is responsible for youth unemployment and other lack of social infrastructure and so on. We need somebody who has the fear of God and is going to turn things around for the better, not just to come and carry on as usual, capitalizing on the huge resources available in order to enjoy themselves or their families. And we don't want those kind of leaders. We want selfless leaders, leaders who are ready to sacrifice, if possible, their life for the nation, people who are ready to give all to Nigerians, irrespective of sacrifices they have to make. So whether it is A or B, let me just be sure that that person is God-fearing, that person is patriotic, and that person loves Nigeria and Nigerians.
And do you think any of the candidates running for presidential office in the coming NG 2015 meet this description you've just told us?
They are human beings, and we all have potentials if we just have the goodwill. All it matters is to have a good disposition, and I believe they have good dispositions. It's sometimes, people around them who are not able to allow them to do what is right. People flatter them a lot. People say all kinds of things that confuse them. And I think they must be able to step outside the cycle and say, look, we have a vision. We know what to do for this country. They are all good human beings. And I believe if they can just face the task of governance and be faithful to their religious values and serve this nation with total selflessness, they will make it. They will turn this country around and things will move better. This country has high potentials, but unfortunately, we are not moving because the leaders are not moving and they are not serious. So we want serious leaders. Whoever emerges, I want the leader to be serious and to be a patriotic Nigerian who will want Nigerians to be happy and to live in peace.
Unfortunately, we have come to the end of our program. Thank you very much for joining us again, Archbishop Kaigama.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Please stay tuned. Sahara TV will be back.